Christmas, bitches. It's true. I do love beer. Beauty. Hey, what's up? I'm just going to start this out by saying, no, I don't want to be the Disney Channel original movie guy. I realize the last movie I talked about was Frenemies, which is also a Disney Channel original movie. But this will not define me, so help me God. But the holiday season is upon us, and I could talk about those unholy messes of Christmas movies that Hallmark makes like every year. They make like 6,000 of them that my mom loved. But there are plenty of other YouTubers that do it way better than I could or ever would do. So I'll just pave my own path here, stray off in a new direction. Pave my own way like my migrant grandfather did when he came here with nothing but $5 and a dream. None of that is true. It just seems like something one of those like annoying 23-year-old entrepreneurs would tell you. No, instead I thought I'd talk about Good Luck Charlie. It's friggin' Christmas. I'll give a little context for those of you out there who don't know what Good Luck Charlie is. Good Luck Charlie, which I've already said too many times and too close together, was a show about a girl named Teddy whose parents recently had a fourth child named, you guessed it, Frank. No, the baby's name was Charlie. Side note, who is accepting the pitch meetings at Disney? Just curious. Why are all their shows about like the most absurd things, but also the exact same things at the same time? A girl who can occasionally see into the future has to navigate high school with an annoying sibling. That's so Raven. The annoying sibling and their dad move to the White House because the dad becomes the president's chef, and the kid has to navigate high school, and the president's daughter is annoying. Corian House. A girl making a daily video diary for her baby sister while navigating high school with annoying siblings just is not a premise for a TV show. It just isn't. Anyways, I figured I'd invite you into my annual holiday tradition of watching the Good Luck Charlie Christmas movie around this time of year. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if that was someone's annual tradition, was watching the Good Luck Charlie Christmas movie at Christmas time? They'd be psychotic. I do have to say though, Good Luck Charlie was always one of like the funnier shows on Disney Channel. It had like pretty decent casting and pretty like funny as a stretch with like decent writing from time to time. So let's just dive into the movie and see if it can reach that high bar I just said of being decently funny sometimes. So in the beginning, we're just sort of seeing the mayhem at the Duncan house around the holidays. What's new with these characters, huh? Right? And always a little bit of mayhem at the Duncan house. And in walks Jason Dolly, one of the biggest Disney Channel vets there ever was. Guy was in like 4 movies and 3 shows and just nothing else after that ever. I knew what he was good at and just ran with it, and I respect the hell out of that. Probably cashed more checks than I ever will in my entire life. We're then introduced to the youngest brother, Gabe, and his contribution to the movie is just being obsessed with this game, Galaxy of Death 2. And you gotta love this, just textbook TV or movie video game playing.
Suppressing!
Gabe.
Over there!
Gabe! What?
Guns, aliens, and a whole lot of hitting every single button on the controller at the same time and still somehow playing the game seamlessly. Also, just love this line.
I'm only 15 levels away from capturing the Stone of Metrios. Galaxy of Death 2 is totally addictive.
You would swear the writers were gamers with some of the lingo they come up with here.
Then I got stuck in the Wastelands of Gorlion.
Wait till I finish this level! I can see the Stone of Metrios!
He's not coming out of there anytime soon.
Can you find our car on this thing?
I think it's over there past the Tower of Doom. Dad, when you're in the kill zone, you gotta keep it on vibrate. Come on, we're almost through the plains of fire. You can practically see the Wastelands of Gorlion from here.
Just make up some alien sounding words and you're good. It's a game, right? Oh, I just gotta grab the Sword of Zoltron and I can take it down to Kragus in the Zootoverse meta-galaxy. Just such nonsense. We also see that Gabe has a poster for the game in the background of his room with just the giant name Chuck Jablowski written on it. And now I've seen the movie, but just not for a long time, so I don't remember what happens. But the fact that this guy's name dominates the poster makes me think he'll probably make an appearance at some point in the movie. Afterwards, we're introduced to Teddy's main conflict in the movie in the form of her best friend just showing up at her door, saying it, and then leaving, which is hilarious. She drops by, reminds Teddy that they want to go to Florida on spring break, and then leaves.
Hey, hi, Mr. D.
Hey!
Wow, what's going on in here?
We're going to Palm Springs for Christmas.
All right. 2 plane rides to exotic destinations in 4 months. You did tell your parents about spring break, right? We have to book those tickets by next week. All right, not a good time. But just remember, if you don't book that ticket soon, you're going to be spending spring break right on that couch.
She just shows up, explains exactly what Teddy wants in the movie, and gets out of there. I would be so furious if my friend did this, like A, right in front of my parents who you know are not on board with this yet, and B, if they just did this at all. Like, hey, phones exist, just text me. Also, like, hey, I know what the plans are. I'm involved in the plans. Why are you reciting them to me at my front door? Then the family's at the airport getting ready to go to Palm Springs, and this scene is just outrageous. Going through customs and everything, they have to go through the metal detectors because terrorism. And Gabe is scared to go through the metal detectors. Why? Not because he has a weapon, although it would be so much funnier if that was why. Alright, son, step right through here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on there, young man. Come here, come here. Sir, the kid has a .44 Magnum, and it is fully loaded. He's scared to go through because this idiot taped a video game console to his chest because his mom said he couldn't bring it to Palm Springs with him. Can't believe he didn't get away with this perfect crime. Also, shout out to the props department for cutting out a Z Station logo and just gluing it to a modem. Looks good. He also taped the controller and game to his brother without him realizing, which is just so eye-opening. Teddy ends up asking her parents if she can go to Florida on spring break. They don't want her to because she's not old enough and she's not responsible. Stop me if you've heard this dilemma in a movie before. Anyways, the dad settles it by saying if she can get her own ticket, she's responsible enough to go. Well, what a coincidence. The airline they're flying with offers a free round-trip ticket to anyone willing to get off the plane because they overbooked the flight. So Teddy just runs right off the plane, obviously, to get this free ticket, and the mom goes after her. The dad, meanwhile, fumbles with the baby's seat, like the handle on the seat, so he doesn't go, and he just doesn't even realize that his wife and only daughter left the plane. The fact the mom doesn't divorce the dad on the spot is nothing short of outstanding. The negligence on display is outstanding. Also, I haven't flown that much, nor do I know the logistics of the airline industry that well, but I just feel like they wouldn't offer you a free round-trip ticket to anywhere in the world for getting off the flight. I could understand them giving you a free flight out to the location you were going, like on the next flight out or something, but what if she decided to go to like Tokyo? That's like $1,000+, and I feel like the airline would lose an incredible amount of money on that. Anyways, the boys all end up in Palm Springs, as it was the route the plane they were on was going to. Just makes sense. And when they arrive at the airport, there's this scene that is just an absolute continuity nightmare. Just look at this. So this guy struggles to walk by Bob, the dad, and stares at him pretty aggressively for some reason. Then, not 5 seconds later, is walking by him again and staring like a maniac again. Then, at the same time as this creep is staring at Bob, this Guy Fieri looking character here in the back is exiting the airport and then walks by Bob. All seems well there. Then we cut to a wide shot and there he is walking out of the airport again. Then we go back to another wide shot a few seconds later and there he is, exiting the airport for the third time in 20 seconds. And then he's gone when they cut into a tighter shot during the exact same conversation. What an absolute editing disaster this was. Maybe hire more than 4 extras. Maybe.
Ah, the mountain air's nice.
Shouldn't we be finding a doctor?
Oh, I'm fine. I was just a little carsick.
It's like calling World War II just a little disagreement.
Oh, look at you staying awake during history class.
I mean, are they allowed to bring up World War II on the Disney Channel? Also, I don't think you need to stay awake in history class to know that World War II is more than just an argument. I feel like the name itself is pretty telling.
Allow me to introduce you to the work of Chuck Jablowski, one of the greatest video game designers in human history.
Yeah, okay, his name was audibly brought up. I think we're going to be hearing from old Chuck Jablowski here within the next, I don't know, hour, because we're about 30 minutes into the movie, and every Disney Channel movie ever is exactly an hour and a half. In terms of what's actually going on, like in the movie, Teddy and her mom couldn't get on the next plane to go out to Palm Springs because it would have got there after Christmas, and the bus they were taking left without them, so they found themselves pretty abandoned trying to get to Las Vegas. So they hitch a ride with this older couple that are going to this alien abductor survival convention, which is also in Vegas. I know why it's in the movie. I have no idea. Then, while they're riding with them, we discover that Teddy's mom is actually pregnant with her 5th kid.
That big appetite? On top of the nausea? Now you have either been abducted by aliens or you're pregnant.
Surprise.
Holy birth of Jesus at Christmas shit. I actually kind of like how they were like teasing this in the movie. She was like overly stressed out at the beginning of the movie, but people thought maybe it was just because Christmas was coming and stuff like that, so they kind of dismissed it. She was getting car sick on the bus they were on, but again, they passed it off as her being car sick. And then when they met this older couple, she was just kind of eating a lot of food, but she kind of dismissed it anytime Teddy like looked at her funny or anything like that. They didn't just drop it in at the end like, look, we all made it in time, we're all together, it's Christmas time, it's perfect, what a day. However, I do remember this pissing me off though, because they specifically mentioned in the show, they had dialogue where they said like they were never having a 5th kid. Now in saying that, I know how unplanned pregnancies work. They're generally not planned, as the name suggests, but I just felt a little lied to. Now, remember how in Frenemies they had that random CGI tennis ball throw that was just like completely unnecessary? That does not hold a candle to what the Good Luck Charlie movie has up its sleeve. Are you ready? Take a look.
Oh, it's Christmas in Las Vegas. Lady Luck is wearing green and red. This Yuletide feeling is so
Dolphins. Fucking dolphins. Out of absolutely nowhere, in a fountain in Las Vegas. Not even the focus of the shot at the bottom of the frame. Fucking dolphins. Just outstanding. It's outstanding. Sorry, Avatar 2 and your special effects. Good Luck Charlie, the movie, got here 11 years early. Can you imagine what this movie would be like without the dolphins there? It would always feel like something was missing. I love that. It just looks like a downloadable green screen effect too. Just beautiful. Also, remember at the beginning when I said the casting was pretty good on this show? The mom is absolutely the best one. Just this line delivery just killed me when I watched this.
Now, you sure you're not carrying an alien baby?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my obstetrician would have caught that.
So Teddy and her mom get to Vegas, but they get there and their luggage gets stolen. What else could go wrong, right? But just watch how this goes down because it kind of pissed me off.
How could this happen?
I think you know how this happened. I mean, you saw the film in health class. I signed the permission slip.
But 5 kids? Really?
Look, we will discuss this after I pee. It was a really long car ride. You just watch our luggage. Where's our luggage?
Oh, no.
I told you to watch our bags.
I told you to watch our bags. Okay, let's get an instant replay on that one, please.
It was a really long car ride. You just watch our luggage. Where's our luggage?
Oh, no.
You're facing the bags. You gotta be up there. You gotta have your head on a swivel. You're in Vegas. Also, you told her to watch the bags like totally after they were already gone. It was like 0.5 seconds after you asked her to that you realized they were gone. When would she have had time to play defense on those? It's like driving straight and there's a brick wall like 1 minute in front of you. You see the brick wall the whole way. Then 5 seconds before you hit the brick wall being like, oh, hey, by the way, don't hit the brick wall. Then when you inevitably hit the brick wall being like, oh, what are you doing? I told you not to hit the brick wall. So they get in a fight in Vegas because the mom blurts out that Teddy ruined Christmas, which like she kind of did. And then Teddy storms off and I mean like, come on, look at this. Look at this. They can't do a serious scene like this and then throw in the extra with the full-blown and loud Christmas tree costume. Like, you just got to have a little bit more awareness of the scene at that point. The scene also killed me. So Teddy's like, her and her mom are in a fight, so she starts like singing carols to try and make money so she can go buy food, and just watch this guy.
Fa la 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 la. Don, we now are gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide hero. Fa la 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 la. No, sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
The silence on him is just awesome. Like, he's just disgusted. Also, remember how I said Teddy's mom is, pregnant? Do you think this is a smart way to pick her up after receiving this news? By the stomach? I don't, really. So Teddy's mom joins her and they're kind of having this like unintentionally theatrical performance of Christmas carols because they're like kind of actually fighting, but then they realize they're making money from people, so they start like joke fighting.
That is exactly what the holidays are like at my house.
We abuse each other around Christmas time. Then cutting back to the boys. They go to get Teddy and their mom in Vegas, but just end up kidnapped in the middle of a paintball game, which is actually a live action version of the video game that Gabe loves. Watching this, I didn't really think much about it. Like, yeah, that's a little silly, that whole scenario you've wound up in. But the movie's chugging along at a decent pace here. It's fun. It's harmless. It's harmless fun. But then I wrote down, so they ended up kidnapped in the middle of a paintball game, which is actually a live action version of the video game Galaxy of Death, and realized they just threw every idea at the wall, and to them, every idea stuck like glue.
It's a road trip movie, yeah. On Christmas, yeah. In the desert, yeah. And the mom's pregnant, yeah. And there's people who are abducted by aliens, yeah. And there's a giant paintball tournament that goes on during Christmas, yeah. This is awesome, yeah.
Then, since Gabe's one contribution to this movie is loving the game, Bob, the dad, asks if he can help get them back to their car because he knows the layout of the map and everything. And Gabe says,
Dad, I can do better than that. I think I can win this thing.
Hey, I don't care. I want to go pick up my pregnant wife and teenage daughter in Las Vegas, not win the paintball game. Get me out of here now. And then the girls end up catching the luggage thief who's wearing Teddy's shirt and find out that she ran away from home because she wanted to go on a trip, but her parents didn't think she was responsible enough, so she ran away from home and now she's scared to go back. It's the exact same story as Teddy and her mom, and there's a lesson learned because it's a movie. Well, thank God Teddy has a good conscience in that anywhere in the world plane ticket, because she gives it to her to go back to her mom because she can't afford a plane ticket. And so she sends her back on her way, and I just think, like, can I have my fucking shirt back, please? Why'd she even put the shirt on? She says she was starving. That's just petty theft. You're a criminal. Teddy and her mom make up, of course, but is there any reason they're standing back to back like they're on the cover of Lethal Weapon here? So they end up renting a tandem bike so they can kind of like make some trek down the road and meet up with Bob and the kids, which seems like a bad call. I mean, they have a decent amount of luggage. Shouldn't they get like 2 bikes with 2 trailers to activate more weight distribution? Just seems like it makes a ton of sense here. Also, the mom says that she's like hoping the boys are okay. Why? They're supposed to be driving. You should be like so much more upset with them than you are. Like, does the dad not realize that they're not going to the car and that Gabe's trying to win the paintball tournament? It is 6 in the morning. You've been playing all night. Grab the kids, smack some sense into them, and get the hell out of there. So they end up winning the tournament, and is this the worst collection of audio from a movie ever?
Yes! Yes! Yeah! The stone of Atreus is mine!
It might be. So after they win, there he is, Chuck Jablowski in the flesh. He shows up, and since Gabe won it for Chuck's team, he offers him anything he wants, which seems pretty useful. Hey, thanks for the help and winning. In return, I won't give you a lump sum of money. I'll just give you anything you want or need. What? Hell of a lot like the airplane ticket here, just mega convenient. With that, we are reaching the end of the movie, and this part deserves its own section because it is just absurd. So with that, let's talk about So Gabe uses his favor to get a helicopter ride to the diner that Teddy and her mom are at because they triangulated the cell phones to track their location. And he just gets dropped off. Ride back? Question mark? No. How are you not asking for a lift back? Oh wait, they don't need a ride back because the grandparents happen to be following behind in 2 separate cars. One of them also happens to be the car they lost at the paintball tournament. How did this little arrangement happen? How did they get the car back from the paintball tournament? They certainly never reveal that information to us, but hey, why should they? We're just the audience. Then remember that child seat handle that Bob couldn't get down, which led to him abandoning his wife and only daughter? That's been an ongoing bit throughout the movie, or at least for like the first quarter of the movie. He bought this $30 plane seat / car seat / stroller, and the handle just won't stay down. It's pretty wacky. Well, the grandma shows up and has fixed it. How, you may ask? Well, at the beginning of the movie, the mom was emotional because if they celebrated Christmas in Palm Springs, Charlie wouldn't be able to get to put the star on top of the tree at home, which is like a tradition, I guess. Then Charlie grabs it and, in just a scene of pure comedy, throws it on the ground. Well, G-Ma here says the star was lodged in the seat and she just took it out and it works fine. There are so many absurd things about this, but mainly, hey, no it wasn't. It was not lodged in there once, not ever. Watch where Charlie throws this star. It is absolutely impossible for it to get lodged in the seat. Like, just so not possible at all. She just hucked it on the ground. But now the mom gets to watch Charlie put the star on the tree just like she wanted. Also, because it's Christmas, I guess, the grandma has just been hating on Bob the entire movie. Like, just laying into this guy about what a terrible parent he is.
They're on a bus. All right.
You couldn't kill enough bugs to pay for 2 extra plane tickets.
You did have kids once, right?
Yes. Ours were well behaved because we knew how to parent them. You've just been raising yourself, haven't you? You want to come live with us? The ignorance. It's like you've been raised by wolves. Fat wolves.
So she kind of comes around on Bob and makes up with him.
It's all around. Right. Sounds good.
Well, I know one thing you're good at.
Having sex with my daughter.
Making beautiful babies.
PJ even meets a girl here at this diner.
Dude, you... Hi.
What a lunatic he is, by the way, just saying hi to this girl as she walks in. The craziest part is that the funniest line in the movie comes in a post-credit scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to our aggressive policy of overselling all flights, we are overbooked by 1 seat. So if anyone wants a free round... Right here.
That is legitimately hilarious. Well, that's Good Luck Charlie. It's friggin' Christmas. In all honesty, like, no, it's not a very good movie, but in terms of Disney movies, it's probably like one of the funnier ones, maybe?
Right, possibly.
Like I said, it's decently cast and it has its moments. That line I showed at the end there is actually like funny. Like that's not Disney funny, that's just like, that's legitimately funny. Like they knew how stupid that part of the movie was and they made fun of it. That's funny. And like I said, I liked how they teased the mom's pregnancy for the first bit. That was actually like well done. But still not very good overall, but you know, it's harmless. It's not like you walk into these movies with like high expectations, you know, unless you're this guy on IMDb who clearly was expecting a lot more out of this movie than the average person probably is. But still, definitely found that review helpful. Also, looking up this movie, the Wikipedia page has hilarious descriptions of the characters. Charlie, the taller the diaries are for. Yeah, I mean, she is that. Ivy, Teddy's friend in Denver. Sworn enemies outside of Denver. Anyways, that will do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays to everyone. I'm gonna go delete this movie off my computer because I hate that it's on there to begin with. Peace out.